Okay, welcome everyone. I want to welcome you especially to the second section of my tutorial on coreldraw. I want to be very fast and snappy and at the same time audible as I can, but you need to listen to me very carefully and follow me as I speed on. So remember the last section I had with us where I taught us how to download the coreldraw, and after downloading the coreldraw, then we get to this interface. Now that we are in this interface, remember, if you still want to learn how to download the coreldraw, you can go to my previous class on coreldraw. That's section 1. So this is section 2. Now that we are here, now let's dive into the class. This is provision for your new document. You can see this interface where we have get started. This is the workspace. These are your ribbons. These are your ribbons. We have the file, we have the tool, we have the windows and the help, then we have the tabs. The tabs also under the ribbons, we also have some drop down tabs or commands also. Then if you come to the right left hand side, you will see some tools, some working tools also. So let's hit the new document. Once you hit the new document, you see this model pops up, and this model pops up, you are supposed to put in the title of your work. For example, if you are to create a cap, you can put cap as a title name, or white cap, in case maybe as in the long run you might want to produce or create more caps or design more caps. You can have a unique name for your caps. I might decide to put this cap 1, or I might decide to put this white cap, just to make it unique so that it will be differentiated among all folders when I want to print. Now the same with this, I can decide to name this particular cat face. I can name it as a folder cat face, so that when I come to my folders, I can know that okay, this is cat face, because the image might not be represented on that folders. Of course, you know how folders sometimes can be, so they are not open for you to select them. You just need the name alone or the title of that folder. So let's push on. Now I want to save this one as section 2, and now I want to customize my here we are trying to customize my work right now. We have this coreldraw default, we have default RGB. Remember, RGB is red, green, blue. We have web, we have default CMYK and coreldraw default. The major customs we use here is the web. When you use the web, it is designed majorly for those that want to leave their designs online. You are not printing your design, you want to leave it as a flyer online, as you know, as an online design. You can use the web. If you want to print out your work as a flyer, as a banner, you use CMYK, and the full meaning of CMYK is cyan, magenta, yellow, and key black, KEY, key black. So just to summarize it all, you use this default CYMK when you want to print. You use this when you are designing to live on the web or internet. And default red GB can also be used when you want to print or when you want to design and live on the web most times. So, but the best for printing is CMYK. Okay, let's move further. This is a number of pages you want to print out. You can increase, you can decrease. Then let's leave it at primary mode CYMK. I left it at CYMK. You can choose any of these, but I left it at this. Then we come to paper size. When we talk of dimensions, we come to paper size. One thing you need to know very much in coreldraw is your scale, your scaling. Your scaling is the proportionality of your paper size in coreldraw to your print out in real life. So let's say if we have A4 here and we have A5, we have A6, and we have business card and a whole lot of them. If I go down, you see a whole lot of them there, a whole lot of sizes, but the major ones we use under this paper size, we have the envelopes, the major ones we use. We have the letter. The letter is a little bit smaller than our A4, a little bit. Then we have A5. A5 is half of A4. If you fold that A4 paper we normally use in printing, I believe every one of us know the size of A4 paper. A4 paper is the major paper we have around us that we normally use in printing out our official typed works. So half of that A4 will give you A5. If you fold A5 into 2, you will get A6. So the same way it applies to when you add, instead of folding A4 now to get A5, when you add A4, you bring two paper size of A4 together, you will get A3. If you bring two paper size of A3 together, you get A2. If you bring two paper size of A2 together, you get A1. So the same way it goes. Now, I believe we all know the size of a business card. We all know the size of a business card. So these particular ones I have pointed out now are the major ones used. So let's push. Now, apart from the dimensions of paper size, we have sizes in inches, we have in millimeter, we have in picas, we have in points, pixel, celsius, deduct, feet, yard, miles, centimeter, meter, kilometer, U and H. Now, the major ones we use here are inches. We also use pixel, we also use feet, and very few persons might use centimeters. Now, I myself, I use feet because most times I design more of banners. You know that banners are large, so they are almost like most of them are even up to 1 yard of a material. So we calculate them in feet and scale them in proportion to the size of the coreldraw sheet. Now, for example, remember, if you want to use the feet now for calculation, maybe I decided to use feet. After selecting feet here, you see it here. Then once I say, okay, let me use 3 by 2 feet. Okay, 3 by 2 feet. So automatically you can see 3 by 2 feet. This paper size is no longer active anymore because I'm using feet now. And then what I want to tell us is, if you want to use inches, it means that you will have to convert the number of your feet in inches before you place it here. Same way, if you want to use pixel, you have to convert the number of pixels you get in feet before you place it here. Same way it applies to other like centimeters and meters. So I believe you know how to do your conversions, but I myself, I just go straight forward to use feet. And when I have my 3 to 2 feet, automatically you find out that within these 2 orientations, I'm having a landscape. Why am I having a landscape? Because width is 3 and height is 2. So automatically it's a landscape scale. Now if I decide that the banner size now should be 3 to 2, so watch. So you can see the border line has gone to portrait, meaning that the orientation is now portrait. So automatically I'm having a width and height of 2 and 3. Then this resolution, leave it the same, let it be the same. We have 200, we have 150, 100, but 300 is the highest resolution you can be able to get. So that's that. I've talked of color settings. Then remember, the color settings are majorly this and this, so we don't need any more custom color settings. Then we click. Once you are done with your scale settings, 2 by 3, you can now go further to click OK. When you hit your OK button, see your page has popped up. Now you find out that you have a scale of 3 as height and 2 as width. So this is how it is on coreldraw sheet or coreldraw whiteboard. But believe you me, this feet you see here is 5 times the size of what you are seeing here, or even 10 times the size of what you are seeing here if it is printed out in real life. So, but what I just want us to understand is, once you have been able to scale your design well here, when it is being printed out, there will not be any alteration in your design. So scaling is very important. So let's proceed. If we come to layout, you can use layout to switch orientation. You can see it's now in landscape. For instance, here I want to leave my work in landscape. You can change orientation. Back to layout also. You can still work on your page size. I clicked on page size. Layout, I click on page size to get this. For instance, here, if a customer comes and say he wants to design a banner of let's say 4 by 3, maybe he wants the height to be 4, then width 3. So automatically that's what I get. So you see that that's increased beyond the coreldraw sheet. But what do we do in this case? What we just do is you can zoom. See where I got the zoom tool from. So, and the shortcut is Control plus. When you Control plus, you zoom out. When you Control minus, you zoom in. So, but when you you want to use this tool, and you hit the zoom tool. So what you now do is with that right click, zoom in, left click to zoom out, right click, zoom in, left click, zoom out. So the same way it goes when you don't want to use this tool. What you just need to do is press Ctrl plus or Ctrl minus. When you are done using any tool, you can just go to this arrow here where you have pick tool and drop your tool. So let's change back our orientation. Okay. Let me use the Control minus in a little bit. Then this is the scale I want to use now. Before you start using your scale, you have to first of all see what I did. I had to put an overlay on top of my whiteboard with this. I went with this particular tool, rectangular tool, to draw an overlay. Once I hit this tool, then I came to the edge, right click and drag for it. So that's it, and you drag back your tool. So the reason why we add that overlay is so that we can be able to design, make our designs, accurate and visible and clear. So most times you don't just design automatically on top of the coreldraw follow board. This is just like a desk that was given to us, a frame. You don't design on the empty frame. You have to create a slate. You have to create a slate where you can design on, and let the slate be equal to the frame, so that when you are exporting, you'll be exporting exactly the same size of the frame, which was your scale. So that is it. So without wasting much time, let me just do a brief diagram. If you want to delete, once you touch an object, you can hit delete button, it will delete. Okay, now I have set this as orientation of landscape, and remember, when you set an orientation of landscape, it means that whatever diagram you want to draw or whatever design you want to do is going to be fit into your landscape frame. So you have to take note designs that will be fit for portrait and designs that will be fit for landscape. So for example, look at this design I will do now. You see that is a landscape design, not a portrait. So I want to use my freehand tool for this particular design. I will do it as fast as possible so that I can be able to enter into the next section in our next class. So this is called freehand tool. Okay. So maybe I would like to use the freehand tool to draw a circle. Let me pick the eclipse, the circle. Okay, this one actually I want to use it for the sun. Then let me pick the freehand tool again. One. And what I do, once I hold my left click, my mouse and the left click, wherever I leave it, that's where it stops. Then I re-click again to keep pushing. I've decided to leave it now. So take note, you see that I drew a mountain or hills. I drew some hills at the back of this particular roadside. It's a roadside with a hill. So without wasting much time, let me just see how I can be able to make it more lively or attractive. On your own, you can still do something similar. Just try your hand out, try it out. I want to use the rectangle tool. Let's make it a little bit. Okay. Let me use the freehand tool again. So in our next class, I'll be taking us through how we use some of the tools. When you have any error, you can just press Ctrl Z to return back. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me just put up some little design. To do here now is to close this particular node so that I can be able to apply color to it. So if I don't close it, I can't apply color to it. Let me just run. So before you can be able to apply color to the lines, you must close the lines. Now I want to use what we call smart fill. This is what we call smart fill. You can see it. Then let's go back. Like I'm having some broken nodes. If you observed, you find out that the smart fill didn't just color all of them at once. Why? The reason was because they were broken. So to adjustment here. Okay. So I want to make it as fast as possible so that we can handle this particular class. Wherever you are watching me, do your best to replicate this. It's quite easy. It's not difficult at all. Just try the best you can. So those are my heels, and this is my son. Okay, let me just give it a yellow color, and then I think I can still go with using smart fill. Remember, if I'm to use smart fill for this particular node, it means that I must close the node. And just run through the nodes. Okay. Let's see. Yet. If you watch this particular area, you see that it's not closed yet. So if it is not closed, you cannot get a smart fill on it. So you have to do your best to close it. Let's try. think it's closed now. When you see something like this, you can use the escape key. Escape key is the ESC key at the left hand, the top hand corner of your left keys. At your left hand side, you see the ESC key at the upmost part of the left keys. So I'm about rounding up this session now. So that's our road. I don't know if I can just make a little adjustment here. The freehand tool is very easy to use. Actually, you are good in art. You can easily control. So same way it is here. Maybe I can just, these are just like they are diagrams of palm trees. Okay, so I think we are good to go. So why am I trying to put up a drawing like this? Just to show you how a landscape and a portrait works. This particular diagram now can only fit for this landscape. Once I change the orientation, watch it. Can you see? The frame is now portrait, and you find out that my artwork is now lying bare, without being in the frame. So until I change it back to portrait, so you see that it is now on the frame. So thank you very much. I just want you to hit the subscribe button, like, and also share. And I'll be seeing you in my next class, where I'll be talking more majorly on some of the tools that we need also use to execute spectacular coreldraw functions this platform. So see you in section 3. Take care and bye.